There's 2 ways to check for Varroa mite, really. There's more than that, but 2 real ways. These are the 2 methods. This is the double jar Varroa counter thing. They've been making these for years. And this is one that some company in Europe came up with that does the exact same thing. And to check for Varroa, and yes, I do check for Varroa mite. I checked for my Varroa mite in the beginning of August. In the beginning of August, I went, yeah, I got Varroa mite. I knew I did, but I just checked to make sure, see how high the levels are. And this year was a really bad year for Varroa mite in your beehives. Everybody I talked to said that Varroa mite was just tons of Varroa mite in their hives. But the way you check for Varroa mite is you go to your beehive and you go to the brood chamber and you take a frame out right in the middle of your hive, right where there's brood. And you want brood that is just about to be capped. So you want the big chunky larvae, the big fat larvas that are all bulky, because those ones are just about to have the caps put on. Varroa mite goes into the cell where your bee is just before they cap it. Because if they go in too soon, the worker bees or the nurse bees could find them and pull them out. So what they do is they hang around the cells waiting for, oh, they're almost ready to cap it, and then they jump in and hide underneath the larva until they get capped over. So you want the frame that has the white, big, wormy looking things in the cells and when the larva is at that chunky size. And you take your container. You first look on the frame and make sure there's no queen there, because you don't want the queen inside of this container. You look at your frame and you take this and you start at the top this way and you put it gently against the comb and you drag it down like this. And it doesn't make sense that you do this, but what happens is that the action of dragging it this way makes the bees curl and fall into the container. So you'll be pulling this down and pulling it down, and the bees will be falling and this will be filling right up. Flip it over to the other side, do the same thing. You want this about half full. You want about a cup of bees, I think, or half cup of bees. Is it a half cup of bees?
1 cup.
One cup of bees, yeah, 1 cup of bees. You want a cup of bees, which is this thing about half full. When it gets half full, and with the double jar thing, the lid has a screen in it, you screw this lid on. Now the bees can't get out and you have it half full. A half a cup of bees is 300, approximately. You fill this empty container up with alcohol. Regular rubbing alcohol or vodka, whatever you want to. I wouldn't do vodka because it's a waste of vodka. Rubbing alcohol, fill this halfway up with rubbing alcohol. You turn this over with your bees on it and you hold it like this. Then you flip it this way and shake it up and kill all your bees. And swirl it around for a minute or so like this. And you're swirling it around because you're killed the bees and you're trying to dislodge the dead Varroa mite from the exoskeleton of your bees. And after you've done this for about a minute or so, you flip it over like this, you shake all the liquid down into this with all the Varroa mite, then you take this container off, this has your dead bees in it, and you pour this on a paper towel. The alcohol goes through the paper towel, the Varroa mite stay on the paper towel. If you have 3 Varroa mite in 300 bees, you have too many in your beehive. You should treat. If you went to any beehive in August in Ontario and did this, you would have over 3 mites on your bees. I do it just to see how bad they are. Beginning of August, I treat really well. I treated very well in the spring. In the middle of August, or the beginning of August, I had hives with 18 per 300, 15 per 300. Had a fellow come in to get the formic acid in August, and he had, I think he had like 58 or something like that per 300. And I just looked at him and said, your hive's dead already. Like there's nothing you can do about it. There's so many Varroa mite in there that even if you treat it, there's probably so much disease there already, right? So that's how you check. This is the same thing. This works exactly the same way. You catch your bees and throw them in this container. You have, I think you put the liquid in the bottom one. So I think you do that. You pour the alcohol in this, you put this on, you throw the bees in there, you put your lid on, and then you roll it. And as you roll it, it kills your bees. And as you're rolling it, the Varroa might fall off the bees and fall through those holes, and now you can count them. It's just a different way of doing the exact same thing. The sugar method, and everybody that's a new beekeeper likes doing the sugar method because they don't want to kill their bees. The problem with the sugar method is sugar doesn't get the Varroa mite off the exoskeleton very well. So if you go out to your bees and you put your 300 bees in here and you throw icing sugar on top of the bees, and you put this on and you shake it like this because you don't want to hurt your bees because they're your bees, and you're shaking it like this, you're not going to shake any Varroa mite off your bees, and you're going to think you don't have any. If you're going to do the sugar method, you got to put the sugar on them, and you got to shake the hell out of it like you're going to kill your bees, so that you can actually get enough sugar on them and agitate them enough that the sugar is getting all over their body. And then you sit it there, I think it's for a half an hour, with the bees in the sugar like this. And you let the bees walk around in the sugar, and they'll be constantly trying to clean the sugar off them inside the container. And after that half hour, you open it up and let the bees go away, and then you dump it out. And if you find 3 Varroa mite, you probably have a lot more than that, because sugar doesn't get Varroa mites off your bees very well. And that's the problem with the sugar shake method. The only real method of checking for Varroa mite is doing the alcohol wash and killing 300 bees. If you're killing 300 bees and you have 50,000 bees in your beehive, more than 300 bees are dying that day anyways. So you're not really doing anything to hurt your bees. What you're doing is making sure they're healthy. So if you find you have a very bad infestation, checking for them and killing 300 bees might save 50,000 bees. Right? So if you're going to check, do that. Or you can just assume that you have them. And a lot of beekeepers just assume they have them and they treat regardless. Spring and fall, I don't check. I have Varroa mite. I treat for Varroa mites because I know I have them. Middle of August, I check to see how many I have to see how bad it is, right? So that's checking.
How long do you shake it?
What?
Vigorously?
Alcohol?
Yeah.
Alcohol, you just swirl it for maybe a minute. Just sort of like.
You don't shake.
You don't have to be very hard with the alcohol because it kills the bees and kills the Varroa mite and sort of washes them off naturally. So you're really just agitating it to loosen the Varroa mite from if they're stuck underneath the plates and stuff like that.
What do they look like?
Like little red crabs. If you do the sugar shake method, you'll find. You go on YouTube.
You can barely see them.
Yeah, you can. They're hard. They look like little flecks of pollen or something like that. Go on Facebook, or not Facebook. Go Google and type in the word Varroa mite and pull up a picture. They're a little orangey red crab-looking thing, but they're
easy to spot.
They're a flake. They're easy to spot. I don't know, I got bad eyes. They're really hard to spot.
I saw them. I actually pulled a frame out and I could see one going on the frame. That's when I got the stuff. When I treated, and then one hive, I counted on the bottom board. I went through the whole thing. I got 18 on one and 24 on the other one.
Yeah. So you can do that. Another way of checking for Varroa mite is a very unevasive way, and not very accurate, is to, if you use a screen bottom board.
That's on the end of my finger.
If you're using a screen bottom board, you can pull your screen bottom board out. You can either buy something called a sticky board, or you can get Pam. If you get Pam, you can spray Pam on your screen bottom board, and then you throw this back in, and you let it sit for, and they say 24 hours, but 48 hours is better. You let it sit in there for 48 hours, and then you pull it out. And I think if you find 2 or 3 Varroa mite on that board in 24 hours, there's too many in your beehive. Because those are the ones that naturally fell off the bees by accident.
There's so much crap on that board.
It'd be hard to find anyways, yeah. But with the bottom boards, what you can do is pull that board out, take a picture of it with your phone, put it on your computer, blow it right up, and then you can actually scroll through it. If you blow it up 10 times bigger than what it is, the Varroa mite will look like this, and you'll be able to easily tell that there's a Varroa mite on there.
Do you keep